Hello students, hope you are doing good at home. Well, today we'll discuss about the typical properties of liquid that we haven't done in our last talk, our last lecture. Well, today we'll discuss about freezing point, diffusion and density. What is the freezing point? Well, when we cool down the liquids, then a time comes when vapor pressure of liquids becomes equal to the vapor pressure of solids. So at that point, when we reaches this situation, liquid coexist with solid at dynamic equilibrium, then that state is called freezing point. In simple word, my dear students, you could say that when a liquid start freezing and both liquid and solids are actually present at that time, that condition is called freezing point. Okay, the next is diffusion. As far as diffusion is concerned, diffusion of gases, we have already done the definition of diffusion of gases, that is spontaneous mixing up of molecules by random motion or collision. Same is the case with the diffusion of liquid. The best example is given in your book, where you could see that we are having a beaker of water, and when we add few drops of ink in the water, the ink start mixing up or start diffusing in the water. Then after some time, the whole ink is diffuses in the water present in the beaker. So this is what diffusion of liquid is. So liquid also diffuses with another liquid by random motion and by collision as well. As you know, the particles of liquid are always in continuous motion. So when we mix two liquids, they mix slowly and steadily, and a time comes then we could find a homogeneous mixture of liquids. So this is what the diffusion of liquid is. Then what are the factors? So here are some of the factors that affect the rate of diffusion. The number one is intermolecular forces. Let me remind you students that intermolecular forces are actually the forces present between molecules, and same is the case when the molecules that are having strong intermolecular forces that will diffuse slower than the liquids that are having weak intermolecular forces. So the first factor is intermolecular forces. So the liquid having weak intermolecular forces diffuses quickly as compared to the liquids that are having strong intermolecular forces. And the second factor is size of a molecule. Very obvious that molecules having smaller size will diffuse more quickly as compared to the molecules that are big in size. So this is the another factor that affect the rate of diffusion. Then the third one, shape of the molecules. Students, regular shape molecules, and then there are molecules who are having irregular shape. So the molecules that are having regular shape that diffuse more quickly as compared to the molecules that are having irregular shape. Last but not least, temperature. Well, temperature, the particles and liquids are in continuous motion due to kinetic energy. When a liquid is having higher temperature, it means its molecules are having higher kinetic energy and they are moving more quickly. When the molecules are more quickly, then it is very likely that liquids would diffuse more quickly as compared to the liquids who are having low temperature. So as higher temperature, liquid molecules are having higher kinetic energy, so they will diffuse more quickly. So this is what the effect of temperature is on diffusion. So these are the four factors: intermolecular forces, size of the molecule, shape of the molecule, and temperature. Last property, typical property of liquid, is density. Well, density is actually mass per unit volume. As particles of liquids are closely packed, so they are more denser than gases but less denser than solids. This is very simple and easy one. Last property of liquids. So let's recap quickly that in this lecture we have studied three main typical properties of liquid. The first one is freezing point. Freezing point is the point at which liquid and solids coexist at dynamic equilibrium. Then second one is diffusion. Liquids diffuse to form homogeneous mixture, and there are four factors. The number one is intermolecular forces, second one is the size of the molecule, then shape of the molecule, the last one is temperature, and the last property that we have discussed today, that is density. Thank you very much.